Filipinos really stay winning, especially recently. Your impact and the way you've been really clawing out into the international market, it's not a little knock on the door. This is kicking them out and having a massive grand entree. And today we're gonna look at the two massive P-pop successes that we had in the world recently, which is SB19 appearing on the first take. I already done one video, but I mentioned that I am really expecting one more vocally focused performance because the first take is well known for having two performances per band. They are the first Filipino bands to ever appear on the first take, and it is so culturally significant and just so iconic. I cannot express how much I was excited to see them there. And of course, my girls from BINI who achieved 10 million views within 10 days. And the growth, the organic growth, if you look at them last year, if you look at them this year, absolute hard work paying off, and they are incredible. So today we're gonna look at their live performance of their brand new song, Cherry on Top. So I'm excited to see that. I'm also going to be reacting to their leg dance practice very, very soon. So be ready for that as well. And now, without any further ado, let's go.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Kind of nervous, to be honest.
Silent, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Tell me when you're ready.
Oh my God.
Guys ready?
We're not.
I'm so nervous, man. I'm so nervous.
You ready?
Yeah. We good?
Yeah, we good.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Ready?
Yeah,
Let's
do
go,
this.
boys.
Let's go.
I'm gonna kill it.
Mama, kumusta na di na? Tayo lagi nakikita, miss na kita sobra.
Look at the bright sound. It's coming from that little smile. Mama. Listen to it being very narrow. Mama. Mama. It brightens the sound so nicely.
Lagi na lang kami ang nauuna. Di ba pwedeng ikaw muna? Akin ang pangamba.
That part is so beautiful for his voice. Like Justin's bright. He has so much youth. Like his voice is like an embodiment of youth. So bright, so positive. Oh.
Dahil ikaw ang aking mata, sa tuwing mundo'y nag-iiba ang dahilan ng aking paghinga. Kaya wag mag-
Those gorgeous jumps, actually. Very nicely done. They are not overtly light. It was actually not in a full airy tone only. He added a tiny bit of a weight on that top tone in the head voice, just so it is really nicely balanced, even though you audibly heard him switching the registers, but still.
mundo'y nag-iiba ang dahilan ng aking paghinga. Kaya wag mag-alala, ipikit ang iyong matatana. Pahinga muna, ako nang bahala. Labis pa sa labis ang iyong nagawa, mama. Pahinga muna, ako na. La-tsara-tsara, la-tsara-tsara, la-tsara-tsara.
Just a very tiny detail because I cannot interrupt this too much. It's really, really pretty. Pablo, can you even believe that it's the same person that does very regularly give us such massive growls and just so much texture? But when it's time for him to just really tone it down and give us a very sweet kind of positive sound, this is the result that we get. He is so multi-layered. I love it about him so much. I feel like it's mainly because as a producer and songwriter, he understands so much the kind of color scheme of the human voice within the whole production. So he knows how to work with his voice so he can help everybody else do the same and create so many so many layers with so much variety. Ooh, the harmonies.
Papa, naalala mo
have to give Josh his flowers, especially because when I've heard him for the very first time or the beginning of their career, Josh had a tendency to go really tight into higher tones, and most of his singing was a little bit stressed. And the amount of relaxation that he achieved throughout just a year and a half that I'm listening to them, of course, the recordings that I've seen first were even older, but he's done so much work on his voice. And I think a lot of people are not recognizing that enough. You can see that his voice is really so much more relaxed. It works so much better with his air. And it just started to have this much less like anxious, stress feeling, but really relaxed kind of little R&B vibe. When he goes for a high tone, it still gets attention, but it's not tense. It gets a little bit of a drive instead of that. I really had to stop and talk about that because I feel like it's not recognized enough, honestly. One thing about Philip, you know, we are utilizing him as that low bass, and his voice is incredible for that low bass, but I cannot be happier when I see him also genuinely sing, because that happens to a lot of basses, like, again, Felix from Stray Kids and Philip here. It happens to basses very, very often that people just completely neglect their singing as well. They're just like, ooh, cool, low tone, resonance and everything, right? But I still am super happy to see them having like a full-blown singing part, because their voices are still really gorgeous, even in the higher places, not only in that depths of ocean that they can go to. Gorgeous ad-libs from Pablo.
Di ko na sasayangin pang mga natitirang paghinga. Tutungo na kung saan naroon ng mahalaga.
One thing that is interesting about Pablo, he does like to use a little bit of an air. He likes mixing his air in. So he works with a lot of texture, plus he understands the way mixing air in your singing changes the final sound of your voice. But when he's singing, so he's not rapping, he's not doing ad-libs, when he's singing, belting, he can go with such a balanced, clean tone.
Huwag mag-alala, ipikit ang iyong mata. Pahinga muna, ako nang bahala. Bis sa labis ang ginagawa, MAPA. Pahinga muna, ako na. Tara-tara, la-tara-tara, la-tara-tara, la-tara-tara.
That half lift was gorgeous. Listen to him here. I know it's just an ad-lib, but like, listen, Stell is the king of the ad-libs. That whoa, that little whoa, the resistance of that tone, so freaking gorgeous. Just the layering of this song, like the longer you listen to that, you just slowly start to get emotional, but it's because the layers are hitting you one after one another. First is the harmony, then you get all those ad-libs layered on, and you just like, the emotion is flowing. Beautiful head voice. Did you hear that little fry at the very end? So much care into such a tiny detail. Let me replay. I think I have to also say that I never realized that the outro of this song is basically slowly isolating their voices outside of the instrumental. So basically, it's a very nice effect that you can use in songs. And I personally really, really love that.
Pahinga muna ako na.
He knows what he's done. Look at his face. He's like, yep, just did that. I love that. He could have gone with the completely clean tone, MAPA, but he did MAPA, just a little fry. It was so beautiful. It was just perfect for that outro. Go watch this performance without me. Of course, per usual, I invite you. I send you because it's beautiful. It is really, really, really gorgeous. Obviously, I do step quite often to tell you more about that, but definitely go and check it out on its own. It's beautiful and it does really deserve a lot of views, a lot of support. Again, SB19, our kings, our trailblazers, they did incredible. Very proud of them. Good job. Okay, next one, we've got BINI and we've got their cherry on top. And you've sent me guys here. You were like, oh no, because I reacted to that. And you were like, oh no, the live performance is already out. And we do not have very high quality, okay? In the future, I hope that we're going to get more high quality kind of like footages from this particularly. But I really cannot wait to see it live. I want to see live. I want to. So I'm not going to be waiting no more. Also celebrating 10 million for these girls. 10 days, 10 million. That's a million in a day. That's incredible. So I want to really appreciate them. Their dance practice, Luggy, is next. So keep an eye on that. Let's go. Also, this is very, very, very live. That's another reason why I really want to see this one. One thing that I appreciate is, okay, listen, I love their modulations, especially the main dancers, main singers are very good at singing. And they have good technique, so they can actually afford to modulate quite a lot, play around, do a variety of texture, a little bit of a... When I reacted to the music video, I said that here is the little bit of a modulation. Love. She was doing a little bit of this modulation, right? She doesn't do it on live singing, which I think is very, very smart thing, because when you are under more pressure, so a lot of movement, a lot of choreography, you are live singing, you want to go with as natural sound as possible. So I feel like this is kind of a sign of a great singer as well, which is when you have the opportunity to be calm and just sit down, you can have a very structured performance. You can do a couple of modulations. You can really focus on the performance, the vocal performance. But when you are under a lot of pressure and you're dancing, you're going to go with a simpler version of it, where you're just going to deliver beautiful, clear, nice vocals that are going to be unfazed by you being under pressure of the dancing. So that's really, really cool. When I've heard it first, I was like, oh, she's not modulating here like she did in the music video. And I realized that that is just a very smart move from her side, because she's not endangering the performance by forcing in the modulation. Okay. With this part, I have to say, when I heard it, I was like, yes, I was missing this so much. Very often I hear in the mid position, like here, every day. Most people and most of the groups recently, I'm hearing very lightweight, where their chests should be quite dominant. Every day, da, 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 da. This is what I'm usually getting. It's not bad. It's not bad. But it was so refreshing to hear someone singing with like a full chesty sound. Every day. I was like, yes, because that's not high. This is a great placement to sing with your full chest. So BINI is making me incredibly happy because, again, when you have a chesty placement, you don't have to go too lightweight in it or push the sound too much towards the front into the nose, because you can really utilize your full chest. It's fine. And BINI is doing that. But you can hear it. One thing I have to say with Joanna, I think it's really incredible that with this amount of movement, she's, and all the other girls also, because she's not the only one singing the chorus, but she's hitting that head voice note with so much clarity and so much stability. So, and she's not going only for the like a very airy head voice. No. We get a little bit of a value in that tone. Big difference. Oh, this is cool. So she was absolutely able to deliver that sass in a live performance as well, because we talked about that in a music video, that attitude that she has translates so well into her music, into her singing, into her rapping. One thing that I said recently, I said it about Kiss of Life, which is also quite of a new group. And I have to say it also about BINI. Their rap parts are not out of the place. They do not feel isolated, and they do not feel like they're just extra slapped on there just because, oh, we've got a couple of rappers, so we need to give them a little bit of a space as well. So we're just going to put a little bit of a rap part there. It's going to sound maybe strange, but like we've got to do that. No, like BINI rap parts are so beautifully integrated into their songs. I actually like it quite a lot, because very often you hear songs, you love the song, then comes the rap part and you're like, okay, like if you would cut it out, you'll be fine, you know? And with BINI, they are a really nice part of it, and I'm actually looking forward to that. So that chorus, difficult for that fluctuation, that is passing from one register to another, and having that making very fluent, because the whole point of stylization of the song is to make it fluent. We don't want too many like audible jumps there through the vocal break, but you are working over around that little vocal break, and with that amount of movement where you know, air is shaky, it's so hard, and you're doing such a good job. Good. We're going to replay that part a tiny little bit. We've got a little bit of a shaking. how the head voice ad-libs are so tricky for live performances. First of all, the movement. Second of all, you see how she isolated herself and stood still for that ad-lib. That is a very good idea because you do not want to be moving too much. You already have to like calm yourself down a little bit before hitting something like that. But if you are not the best balanced when it comes to sound technique, which some of the live concerts are fine, some of the live concerts depends on the venue, depends on the size of a venue, how much time they had to prepare everything. These type of notes also depends on the monitor of the singer. Sometimes singers do not hear themselves very well, and these type of notes particularly, it can come out as a very difficult tone. You see, when she was in a perfectly fine, that's where it shook a little bit. The top tone shooketh a tiny little bit, which is perfectly normal. It's a very hard ad-lib. It is a very difficult one to do after, what is it, 2.5 minutes of a full choreo. This is a last chorus. So something this tiny can happen. It's very human. And it also kind of came out as so instead of it being like a tiny little shakiness at the top of the tone, it kind of feels like she hit that tone twice in the head voice. My baby still did very well. So proud of her. Ooh, and that sweet tone actually translated nicely as well. So very often in the groups, those people who have like a lighter sweet tones fall in the back on the live performances. You can see it on the boy bands as well. Like on the studio recordings, they're quite like out there. But the moment you get actually like live performance, they're very often really badly set with the sound technique and they're falling towards the back, which did not happen here. And I'm very happy because it's such an important part of that song. Okay, good job, BINI. I hope we're going to see more live performances of Cherry on Top, maybe a sit down. I want to see an acoustic version of it. I want to see a dance practice. I want to see everything. I want to see tons of content for Cherry on Top because I love that song. I particularly love that song. I'm actually almost considering making a cover of that myself as well. So let me know because I genuinely enjoyed the song. I love it so much. Okay, if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to subscribe right here. Here is the video that YouTube actually recommends for you too. And here are the rest of my Filipino reactions. Please stay safe and healthy. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.